Hello, hello, and welcome to today's family program. I'm Dr. Kitcher, and it's always a joy to come to you. Another day is here, and I'm so happy we are in a new month. So I wish you the very best of this month, and I hope that you would be really empowered as we get every week together with you and share on, matters that are important to our lives. Today, we'll be looking at the subject of living effectively, because many people are just existing. And even if those who are living, they are living, but they are not living effectively. Whatever you do effectively will bring you the ultimate result, and you will be happier and you will be more fulfilled. So life is not just about, being alive on the planet, being counted among the world's population, or going about your business as usual, but it is about being on top of whatever you are doing. I will share some basic things, and most of them I think you would know, and it will be like a reminder. And of course, for those who don't know, it will also serve as something that will take you along. But before we get into business of the day, let me welcome those who are here, especially for the first time. You are most welcome to today's family program. This is the place where you hear, about life and advices as to how you can make life more effective for you as you relate with other people on this planet called Earth. Also, I would like each and every one present right now to invite a friend, to invite another friend, and you can all watch together with us and learn as we go along. And we are always open to your comments and your suggestions. And if maybe I give 3 points and you know three more, that can be helpful. You can always, send those informations to us and we will add on to what we have. We want this place to be like a family house where everybody can bring in what he has, and then we see what we need and we use it for where we want to get to. So we're talking about living effectively. Living effectively. The first thing that I would like to say is that for you to live effectively, you must understand the principles that governs life. Life is not lived just like that. You need to understand the principles. Principles is what governs life. We have some laws, we have some things that are set in place, and there is also, principles of relationship, of, dealing with others on the earth. And therefore, it is very important that we understand what principle applies to whichever area of life we are engaged in. And as you know, man is a social being. Man is a social being, is a social creator and a creation. And man was created to be, social. So anytime you find yourself out of the midst of others, you feel so alone and you feel, unfulfilled, and it's boring and all that. And so many things in life you will not be able to achieve by yourself alone, because you will need people. If you produce something, you will need a buyer, you need a marketer, you will need, advertisers and all that. So it's very, very important that we understand that we are supposed to be social beings, which means for you to live effectively, make sure you don't offend people. Make sure people feel good when they are in your company. Make sure that you are contributing positively and giving the positive energy and vibes in every place that you find yourself. And socialization is part of the principles of life. Many people think because I have an aim, because I have set my eyes to do something, then I don't need to worry about any other thing again. And I don't need to worry about people. Let me just be concerned about what I'm doing. Everybody has to be focused on whatever it is that you are doing. But it does not mean that you check people out of your life and your plans, because you will need people to fulfill your goal. Look at any great achiever in this world. There is no one who succeeded on his own. You look at an athlete on the field, running, breaking world records. But behind that breaking of the world record is so many people who contributed, from the coach to, the medical experts, psychological advisors, and so many more that comes into place to build that one champion. Yes, he climbs the podium, but that is why when they are given the opportunity to speak, they always appreciate those who have contributed to making them that champion that they are. So socialization is part of the principles of life. And the key to success in life is to understand these principles of living. It is very, very important. Whatever you don't understand, you will not be able to operate in it very, very well. So principle will govern and regulate the function of a product. Everything that is produced, its existence, longevity, and all that is governed by the what do you call it, the principle that is set for it. It is very, very important for us to understand these things. You see, when you learn a principle, then your environment becomes very easy to handle. When you know that there are seasons in the year, and usually it follows a particular pattern. So when it's summer, you know what you got to prepare. When it's autumn, you know what you got to prepare. It's very important for us to really, really learn these principles and master them and then use them in our lives. Principles would make life much more easier, much more simpler, and much more, enjoyable. So if you would do anything at all, try to understand the principles that operate behind whatever you see existing or whatever you envision encountering yourself with. Principles would protect your life. It will protect your life. A principle is like the first law. The first law. So one of the things that you always have to have is vision. Vision. For everything and anything that you're doing, what is the vision behind it? And what is the plan that you have put in place? What are the strategies that you are going to use? You need to know what would happen if you invest into it. Sometimes we enter a relationship, we invest too much of our emotions, we invest too much of, our, what do you call it, finances and things. And then if things don't turn out well, because you have over invested, you feel the pain and the loss so much. It is said that before you endeavor to do anything, you first must sit down and count the cost. So cost counting is a principle of life. Whatever you are engaged in, ask yourself, do I have enough to get it accomplished? Because whatever you start and you don't finish, then you sort of make a mess of yourself and you make people turn you into a laughing stock. You don't want to have that. So before you even set up to do any project, you have to know the cost. You have to find out what it is that you need in order to get it, well and running. It is very, very important. So I would encourage you to know that principles govern life, and the principle that you neglect will be that which would hurt you when the time comes. Principles that you don't learn or you don't find information about, when the time comes for you to use it for anything, you will be found wanting. Friends, this is today's family program. I'm Dr. Albert Kitcher, and we always come here to, talk about very simple but, practical things that we need to get and make our lives very meaningful. So, like I was saying, principles actually will govern your life. When you learn, for instance, the principles that are laid down by a manufacturer of a product, you don't need to worry about anything. Why? Because the manufacturer will tell you, like, before you even start using this product, do A, B, and C. Should you realize that this and that is happening, then resort to the next, 5 things that you do. So it is important that we follow whatever instructions or principles that are set up there by the manufacturer of a product before we even start exploiting that product. Most of the times we relate to our lives and our relationships and everything the same way we do with when we get a new gadget. How many of you will get a new gadget and take time to read the what do you call it, manual, to be sure about what information the manufacturer is giving? We usually don't do that because we conclude, well, I've owned the phone before, I know what it is. So you just get up and you put a SIM card in and, you want to make a call straight away. And, you like, oh yeah, I need to get this and that done. But then the principles are sometimes what do you call it, programs, you need to download the application, and then you can be able to get ready to use it. When you know the principles that governs anything, you will not have to stress for it. You will not have to, plead and beg and do all those acrobatics, because principles is meant to simplify life. Will you be a principled person? Are you a principled person? Do you really understand what it means to be operating and living by principles? Do you believe that this life is run because of certain principles that are there? This is today's family program, and we're talking about living effectively. And one of the things that we're going to see is that we need to operate and run by principles. There are laws, there are principles, and these principles is what governs the life. Evaluate your relationships. Evaluate your, business partnerships. Evaluate your life as a person and ask yourself, what principle is it that I am running on? And I said the principle is what? The first law. What is the first law, which is like the basis of your functioning? Is it integrity? Is it, sharing? Is it caring? Is it transparency? Is it love? You need to define what is your operational mode. And this can differ in different places depending on the demands that are placed on you. But you should have your default mode. And your default mode should be the mode of, I am looking forward to get to the next level. Next level thinkers take hold of the future. The future is here, and we have to take advantage of that. So please evaluate your relationship, evaluate your work, evaluate your life, and ask yourself, what are the principles that I do operate on? Well, this has been today's family, and all too soon we are ending our program, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. And next week we're going to continue, but I want you to know it will be good if you think about what kind of principles are you operating on, and what principles of life do you need. I believe in the principles of transparency, the principles of, teamwork, and the principles of being your best at whatever you do. All this requires some training, requires some lifestyle adjustments, and it requires quite a lot of input into building yourself into a person of integrity. Well, today's family is here to help you. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us and we would provide you with answers. This has been today's family, your favorite program, and I'm Dr. Kitcher. Until we see you again next week, I want you to know you can make it. See you later. Bye-bye.